Hey guys, it's Mr. C and welcome back to our Level 6 Math. Today we're looking at Saxon Math Lesson 55. Today we're looking at Common Denominators Part 1. Finally, we are going to add and subtract different fractions that don't have the same denominator. So this is really great. This is a lesson I've been waiting for a long time because now we can do new things. This is a new concept. Alright, so when we have denominators of two or more fractions that are equal, we say they have common denominators. So in this case, the denominator is 5 and 5. So here we have 3/5 and 2/5. And it's really easy to subtract with common denominators. We just subtract the numerators, right? So we take 2 away from 3. So if we take 2 of these away, we're left with 1/5. It's pretty easy. The fractions 3/4 and 1/2 don't have a common denominator. So we can't just subtract 1/2 from 3/4. Now we can, because we can visually see this here. If we took that away, we'd just have 1/4 left. But there's a good mathematical way to solve this. So when you don't have common denominators, what you're going to do is you're going to rename them with the least common denominator. So since 2/4 equals 1/2, we can rename 1/2 as 2/4. So now our least common denominator is going to be 4. And we do that again, we take that 1/2 and we just multiply that by 2 halves, right? So 2 times 2 on the bottom turns into 4, 2 times 1 on the top turns into 2. So we're just going to take it, multiply it by 1, right? We can do that to any number, and that's going to help us get 2/4 instead of 1/2. And now we can subtract 2/4 from 3/4, and that will leave us with 1/4. Okay. Yeah. Here they were adding it; they weren't subtracting. So we take 3/4 plus 2/4, we get 5/4, which is going to be 1 1/4, and that works. To add or subtract fractions that don't have common denominators, we rename one or more of the fractions that do have common denominators. Then we add or subtract. Recall that to rename a fraction, we multiply it by a fraction equal to 1. So here we rename 1/2 by multiplying it by 2 halves, and that forms the equivalent fraction of 2/4. Now the way we know that we're supposed to multiply it by 2 halves is we know we want the denominator of 4, and we're starting with a 2 on the bottom. 2 times 2 is 4. So we know whatever we have on the bottom, we have to also multiply by on the top. And that's how we came up with the 2 halves, all right? So we take our 1/2, change it to 2/4, and now we can just add 2/4 plus 3/4 equals 5/4. This is the same problem we just did. To find the common denominator of two fractions, we find a common multiple of the denominators. The least common multiple of the denominators is the least common denominator. So that's what we're solving for today, is the least common denominator of the fractions. So here we're going to subtract 1/2 from 1/6 from 1/2. Our least common denominator here is going to be 6, so we have to change a 2 into a 6. Now we know that 2 times 3 is 6, so what we're going to multiply our half by is 3/3. So 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3, so 3/6 is the equivalent fraction of 1/2. Then we can just subtract, so we get 3/6 and we subtract that 1/6. The least common multiple of 2 and 6 is 6. So 6 is the least common denominator. We change that by multiplying by 3/3. So that's what we do here to get 3/6. Then we just subtract our 1/6, and we get our 2/6 is our answer. But of course that can reduce because 2 and 6 are both even numbers. The greatest common factor on those is 2. So we divide 2 by 2 is 1, 6 by 2 is 3, and we get 1/3 as our answer. Whew, it seems complicated. It's not. Really, this is a pretty easy principle. It's going to take some practice to do it. Okay? Oh, and that's it. So let's practice doing it. You're just going to work on practicing this today, finding that least common denominator first, and then you'll do the add or subtract problem and then reduce. So it's a great problem or practice set for today.